What's it really like to live alone in China? I'm Hansen, I'm 28 years old, and I live alone in China. I'm single, I don't have much saved, and I rent a 6 square meter room in a shared apartment. A few days ago, I got a message from my high school crush. She said she'd seen my videos and told me not to give up. Honestly, I didn't really know what to say. I got a little shy and awkward. We used to sit next to each other in high school. She was always near the top of the class. I was pretty insecure back then. I had no clue what I want to do after high school. She once told me which university she really wants to go to, but she didn't do as well as she hoped on the Gaokao, China's college entrance exam, and she ended up going to school in another city. Then, a few years later, I was the one who ended up in the city she originally wanted to go to. Now we are both adults, and we end up in completely different place. In China, a lot of people grow up thinking that getting into a good university means you will have a pretty clear path in life. But once you grow up, you realize it's not that simple. So today, I want to share a day in my life as a regular Gen Z guy living alone in Chongqing, and I want to talk about what our lives can look like after the Gaokao. I'm going to take subway. Summer in Chongqing are usually extremely hot, but today is only around 86 degrees Fahrenheit. These days, the weather is perfect for going out and walking around. 我要用这个券呢。好 let's get some lunch first. I found a deal for this on Douyin, China's version of TikTok. A bowl of beef soup and Mao Shui Wang cost me about $3. Mao Shui Wang is a really well-known Chongqing dish. It usually has dark blood, bean sprouts, and a lot of chili and strong peppercorns. This is really flavorful. The name might sound kinda strange, but it's really good with rice. You mix everything together, and it's spicy, numbing, and super fragrant. A bowl of rice with this is more than enough for me. After lunch, I came to wander around Shancheng footpaths. This is Consulate Alley. More than 100 years ago, a lot of foreign consulates, churches, and hospitals were built around here. That's how this little road got its name. It's not a diplomatic district anymore. Now it's just a quiet path built into the hillside. Along the way, you will often see older women carrying little baskets and selling handmade things. They probably sit here every day, watching tourists walk by and watching the city slowly change around them. Chongqing are very interesting cities, but there are lots of hills, so make sure we wear comfort shoes. I also saw a little cat laying there asleep. I don't know if people where you live have something like vacation guilt. It's when you still have paid time off, but you feel awkward asking your boss to take a day off, especially when you are not sick and nothing serious is happening. You just want to one day to rest, but it somehow feels like that isn't good enough reason. A lot of Gen Z have been talking about this online lately. Whenever I want to take time off, I type the message, delay it, and spend way too long thinking about how to ask. This is Gen I Church. A lot of people think Chinese people don't have religious beliefs, but there are actually around 44 million Christians in China. Especially in rural areas, church is still a big part of some people's lives. When I was little, my aunt used to take me to church. Back then, I didn't really understand why people came here every week. They would sing, pray, and talk to each other. But a lot of young people in China aren't really religious now. At least, most people around my age that I know aren't. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? Do young people in your country still go to church? This place used to be a school in China about 40 years ago. They kept the original exterior but turned inside into shops. Classrooms like this, wooden desks, blackboards, and even a little school store. A lot of schools in China have a small shop like this. They sell stationery, snacks, and little toys. When class ended, one of the best things was taking a few yuan to buy a bag of spicy snacks, and ice pop or some stickers. At the back of the classroom, there was usually a class bulletin board too. It was kind of like each class own wall display. Students would write her holiday messages, exam goals, and class news on it, and sometimes draw really over-the-top illustrations. And there would always be inspirational quotes on the walls. This room is full of things that used to be really common in Chinese homes. Graduation certificates, marriage certificates, old photos, old phones. This kind of calendar is called a Huangli, or Chinese almanac. Besides that date, it shows a lunar calendar, the zodiac sign, and whether the day is considered good for things like getting married, moving house, or opening a business. Looking at it now feels kind of strange. Older generations would even check the calendars to find a lucky day for things like moving house or getting married. A lot of these toys are things my parents' generation played with when they were kids. You can see Chinese toys here, but also characters like Austral boys that came over from Japan. There's even a slide over here. A few kids were having a great time on it. At first, I thought it was just for kids, but then I tried it myself. What the fuck? In China, you go through a lot of exams at school. There are all these regular tests, monthly exams, midterms, finals, and then the high school entrance exam and the Gaokao. Those bigger exams can decide where you go next. So when you are in school, it kind of feels like everyone knows what they are supposed to do. Get higher scores, get into a better school, then go to a bigger city. But once you actually graduate, you realize there's one thing school never really teaches you. If there isn't a test telling you the answer, how do you know whether you are on the right path now? A lot of people don't get into the school they want most. They don't end up in the city they dreamed about either. Some people graduate and end up doing jobs that are completely different from what they imagined. Life is often like that. The things that don't go according to plan can still take you places you never expected to go and help you meet people you never expected to meet. Looking back now, I think growing up might not be about finally finding one right answer. Maybe it's about slowly accepting that a lot of things don't have an answer, and life still keeps moving. Time for dinner. I want to try this noodle place that's really popular.
高头要啊。
I ordered stir-fried pork kidney noodles. Pork kidney is in a lot of places in China. I used to be nervous about trying pork kidney because it sounded kind of strange. It has to be cleaned really well, then cut in a coarse heart so it curls up in the wall and looks a bit like a flower. But once you actually try something, it usually doesn't seem that hard to accept anymore.
I just realized I scraped my elbow on the slide, so I'm going to famously get KA. 有没有碘伏啊？
有
那种棉签碘伏，一体的。
碘伏棉棒，
哦，对，棉棒。还是单独的？
也买完了吗？碘伏棉棒，
没有吗？
单独的。
只有单独的。单独是不是有点？
不方便哈。
哦，那我再去别的看看吧。
好。
啊，谢谢。But I couldn't find the pharmacy nearby, so I'm going to head to the next place first.
Near sunset, the light over the Jialing River turns all the high reserves across the water gold. Some people call this whole area Chongqing's Manhattan. Usually I don't make plans for my life, but this summer I simply share my little moment from my daily life. And honestly, I never expected so many people to see my posts and enjoy them. So I'm truly grateful for all the love and support. So I want to say, life may not always go the way we expect, but sometimes unexpected things can turn into something beautiful. So do you have any plans or dreams for your life? Whatever they may be, I hope they all come true, especially in this beautiful summer. From here, I can take the two-river ferry across and see it all again from the water. When we were in school, it always felt like there was a very clean path. Get here school, go to a better school, then find a stable job. But once you actually grow up, you realize a lot of things don't have a right answer. You don't know whether you are on the right path or where you will be few years from now. Some paths are harder and they might not work out. But if you never try certain things, you might never know whether they are what you really want. I still don't know where making videos will take me, but I don't want to look back in few years and realize I never even gave myself a chance. What did you want to be when you were a kid? Are you still working toward it? Let me know in the comments. I want to see who we all ended up becoming. Thanks for watching. If you like this kind of honest content, hit subscribe and give this video a like. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.